Hey fellow woodcutters, Topsaw here. Today we're going to go over how to build a jewelry box. We're working on wood properties, wood joinery, and also digital fabrication. You could use softwood. This is Doug fir with an ornamental black walnut top. We're going to cut rabbets in the corner to glue it together and make it a strong joint. Then we're going to cut a dado in the bottom and have a slide-in plywood bottom. Then you want to, once your box is done, then you're going to build your decorative top and then cut rabbets around it to make it fit. It needs to have both a CNC operation and also a laser engrave operation. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with rough cut pine. This is not surfaced at all. So you can see the rough cut saw marks on here. We're going to plane it down. We're going to plane one side, flip it over, plane the other side, and we're going to plane down to about a 1/2 inch. You might want to stop it at 0.51 or 0.50. After you surface two sides on the planer, coming over the joiner, we're going to surface side 3. Now I'm surface 1, 2, 3. We're going to go over the table saw and rip this side parallel and straight to surface my 4th side. Now that I'm surface 1, 2, jointed 3, ripped 4, I'm going to surface 5 and 6 on the chop saw, and then my lumber will be dimensional down a 1/2 inch, and it'll be surface 6 sides. Then I can do my layout work. Now I'm all surfaced, we could lay out the board. You might want to do these steps with a partner so you could split the board either with 2 or 3 people. All right, let's work on layout. All right, you're surfaced all 6 sides, planed, jointed, ripped, cross-cut. When you're surfaced all 6 sides, you want to come into the classroom and start drawing out your plan with your board in front of you. Like, I don't really want this knot in here, so I'm going to start right here. And then I only want it 3 inches high, so I'm going to come up 3 inches. It's a rough sketch on your board, but you want to lay that grain pattern out the way you want it. So I kind of like this cathedral pattern here. I want that on side B and C, however you want to do it. And then I figure out my dimensions on my drawing. My drawing, I want front, top, right side, and I also want isometric in my drawing as well to get an idea how it's going together. So we're all surfaced, we're all drawing, we have a good plan. We're going to go out in the shop, we're going to rip the width, and we're going to cut a little dado in here, and that's where the bottom's going to go into the box, and we're going to do that before we cross cut. So let's go do that now. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is rip this off, then I'm going to rip to width. Blade height set, glasses are on. There's a board that are going to be my 4 sides. I have that A, B, C, and D on there to figure out the layout. I'm surfaced. Now I'm going to drop that blade and bring it up only 1/4 inch and run that dado 1/4 inch up. I'm going to drop this blade way down. Now I have that dado cut in there, and then what's going to fit in there is going to be my plywood bottom. It should be a perfect fit. Next step, I'm going to cross cut, and then I'm going to cut my rabbet so it has strength. So here are my parts. What I want to do is I want to cut identical parts. So I want A and D to be the same. I cannot use the miter gauge and the fence together. So I have a stop block right here. I got to make sure I am off of that block before I engage the blade. So that's the size of my A part. I'm going to cut that part. I am going to reverse my board and cut my D part. Again, I am not on that stop block before I engage the blade. I have two of my identical parts cut. Now I'm going to cut my B and C's, and these were a lot longer. These were 8s. So I could set this to 8 plus the thickness of this. And there's my C part. Again, this has to be far enough back. I can cut my B part for identical parts. All right, now I have my 4 parts all cut. They are identical pairs. And if you put them on a flat surface and run your finger over the top, your finger is amazingly accurate, probably to 5,000ths of an inch. I can see that they're really close, and these are really close. I'm not really worried about a little bit of measurement difference. I am very concerned that I have identical opposing pieces. From here, we're going to go over the other table saw that has a dado stack in it, and we're going to cut those dados. So let's go do that now. Okay, I got my parts. I got to set that blade height so that it's the same as this dado or even a little bit more, and that's going to cover that up on the end grain. So I set that right there. Bring that blade up to match it or a little bit above. And then the width of my dado is going to be the same. Sorry, the width of my rabbet is going to be the same as the thickness of this board. All my cuts are on the groove side, so I'm going to always have that groove going down. I'm going to set this measurement dimension off of the thickness of my board, right there. I think I got it pretty close. From there, I'm going to try it with a fixed stop. So I just have a small little block, double-sided tape on the back. I'm going to put that in here. So I have repeatability. So there's my fixed stop. I'm right on there. I didn't get all my wood taken out, and I'm going to have to do a cleaning pass to take the rest of it out. If I have to sand, I want to sand that tab, not the whole face. So if I'm going to make an error, I want this to be a little bit long, not short. So I actually like the way that looks. So I'm going to repeat that 3 more times. Again, all of these rabbets go on the side that have the long dado. Gently push it up against my stop. I have all 4 of them cut to measurement size. Now I have to do my cleaning cut to clean up these extra bits, but that's not a measurement cut. So I'm going to take off my stop block. Make sure my work area is clean. Then I just do this cleaning cut. There's my box. Should fit together pretty well right here. The grain should wrap around it nicely. And then the next step after I have this is I'm going to take this inside dimension and I'm going to add this times 2 to it. So it's a 1/4 inch and a 1/4 inch. So I'm going to take this dimension here and add a little bit less than a 1/2 inch to it. This dimension plus about a 1/2. I'm going to cut that plywood bottom and then I'm just going to have it fit right in there. So let's go ahead and do that right now. So I'm double checking the depth of that dado with my combination square. It's just at a 1/4 inch. So I'm going to figure out the width of my interior measurement. We'll call that 2 3/8, right? 2 3/8. And then from there, I'm going to add on my 1/4 inch. So that'll put me at like 2 5/8, and I'm going to go a little bit under that. So I'm going to set this at 2 5/8. Okay. And my inside dimension is 6 plus that 1/2, 6 1/2. So I want to come down here, 6 1/2. I cannot use the fence on this because I need to support the longer side. So I'm going to use the miter gauge. That should be the exact correct dimension there. Be a little bit small, a little bit too large is going to make that box not glue together. A little too small, you won't see. A little bit bigger than that opening there. And it is. So that looks good. And then I'm going to just have it slide in here. All that splintering will be covered up in the dado. Like that. Again, this is a dry fit before I put glue on it. So the dry fit looks good. I'm going to put that whole thing together with glue and clamps, let it dry. And then the next step is going to be how we're going to do the decorative top to this box. So we'll put that off, maybe for another video even. So there's my box. I'm going to glue it up, let it dry. I'm going to sand these little tabs flush. I'm going to make sure I am square when I do my glue up. Look at that. Yeah, I'm square and all plain. So there's our jewelry box. We're going to do a decorative top, run rabbets around the top, but I think I'll put that off for another video. Most importantly, do not use any of these tools until you've been trained in person. Safety is always a primary concern whenever you're using anything that could change your life permanently in the split second. All right, thank you.